people in the audience have ever surfed before? Wow, I must be speaking to a Saskatchewan audience. A lot of people. Surfing is one of the most incredible sports on earth because you have to take on the power of the ocean. And I promise you, when you do, there's no freer feeling than riding the waves of life. Ladies and gentlemen, fellow guests, special Toastmasters, today I will share with you 3 stories about how I rode the waves of life, or how I crashed on them. And I want you to listen to me on 2 levels. The first level, be entertained by the story of how I rode the waves of life or how I crashed. And the second level, think about how you're riding the waves in your life. In 2007, I didn't care about surfing. Why would I? I grew up on flat prairies, I loved hockey, I had everything that I needed. I was miles away from the ocean. But that all changed when I met an Australian woman. And I fell in love with her. I'm now married to this woman. But during our courtship, where I was courting her for the purposes of the marriage, I found out that she liked surfing, and her brother surfed, and her dad surfed, her brother-in-law surfed, and pretty much all of her friends surfed. Now, she never told me that a condition for me to win over her family was that I needed to learn how to surf. But that's not what I heard. I heard, in order for me to win into the family, I need to court one person. Her oldest brother. Because her oldest brother was an amazing surfer. So what he did was he took me down to the Easy Beach the one day, and he said, "Mate, I'm going to teach you how to surf." And I said, "Yes, this is awesome." I started getting excited. I'd never been more excited about a single sport in my entire life. I got excited. I was jumping. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get my surf gear on. And I was ready to go. And I was ready to surf. I didn't know what to do. He said, "Mate, I'll teach you how. The first thing that you need to know when you learn how to surf is how to get up." I said, "That's a good one, right? You need to learn how to get up." He said, "Okay, what you do is you get down like this, and in one motion, you jump up like that." And I was like, "I can do push-ups. I can do this." I was great at it on land. And then he brought me out into the ocean. We're waiting for waves. And a wave passes, and I said, "God, that's a small wave." And my brother-in-law catches that wave, and I was like, "How do you catch those waves?" So wave after wave passes, he gets them, goes in, comes back. "Come on, mate, you can do this." And I was determined. I had to win him over. So he came up behind me. He said, "Mate, there's a wave with your name on it. And what I want you to do is jump up just like I told you." I said, "Okay." I was ready. And all of a sudden, this huge wave started coming. I felt the power in this wave. The nose of my surfboard went down. I started paddling. I felt this thrust. And I jumped up, and I was surfing. Yes! And my wife was on the shore, and she took a picture of this huge wave. The camera didn't lie. And then behind was my brother-in-law, like this. And fortunately, the picture didn't show that he was actually the one who thrusted me forward to give me the motion to get up. I didn't tell anybody. That's my secret with you, right? So what did I do? I went home, and I changed my Facebook profile to guitar, piano, hockey, and surfing. Because I was a surfer now. I got it once. So the first lesson that I learned about riding the waves of life was that you need to be humble. But I never learned it then. It took me 3 more years to learn that lesson. 3 more years passed, and now I'm married to my wife. And my brother-in-law brings me out again. We're at Maroubra Beach. This is his beach. He said, "Mate, if you want to surf, you're going to have to dive through that first wave because we're getting to the second wave." I was like, "Okay." So we went out. We're on the second surf. And I dive underneath that first wave. And the water comes up. And I'm soaking wet. And I start paddling just like he told me. And I see him. He's out there. And he's doing all these twirly things. And he's back. And he's, "Oh, mate, this is awesome." I was like, "Okay." And it was like me jumping into the water, doing one of these. And I go like this. And then all of a sudden, I try to get up. And my board was doing twirly things because the power of this wave was crazy. And I just do this. And an hour passed when I finally realized that I hadn't even passed the first break. My brother-in-law waves me into the shore. He says, "Mate, I got to teach you something. I've got to teach you that if you want to ride the waves of life, you're going to have to get past that first break. And it might be difficult for you to get past that, but you have to have perseverance." So the second thing that I learned about surfing is that if you want to get to where the real action is, you need to push through and have perseverance to get through that first break. The third time I went surfing was at Pipeline. Now Pipeline, it's in Hawaii. Who's heard of Pipeline? That's where the pros go, right? So I went to Pipeline. Now I surfed a little bit at Honolulu, but I was determined I was going to surf at Pipeline. So while I was at Pipeline, the waves would come, and then they would just like curl, and they were the pretty big waves. So Nathan had me out there, and he said, "This time you have to sense when the wave is coming." So I'm sensing the wave, and I felt it. I felt the wave coming, and it would come like this, and I'd start paddling. All of a sudden, it would take me up like this. Boom! Crash me to the ground, and I got up, and I said, "You're not beating me," and I got up again, and it crashed me to the ground over and over again. And my wife was on the shore. She was taking a video of me. And as we watched the videos, there were 40 takes of, "Come on, honey, you can do it." Oh. "Come on, honey, this is your..." Oh. "Come on, honey." Good job, Uncle Nathan. Are you sitting at the shore of your life? Are you watching other people ride the waves? My challenge to you is that if you feel like you're sitting on the shores, get a surfboard, get your surf gear, get wet. Know that you have to have humility to get out there because you're riding the waves, big waves. You need to dive underneath that first wave and have perseverance to keep on going so that you can get to where the real action is. And in order to ride the waves of life, you're going to have the determination to get back up. Because there's no freer feeling than riding the waves of life.
David, the silence will actually take as much time as the judges need.